In 2.2, we're going to be translating a couple different functions. The first is the square root of x. The square root of x is actually the same shape as half of a parabola. It's just been turned sideways. So that is a parabola. If we were to focus on half of it and sort of turn it on its side, that is a square root graph. And then if you graphed the other side of it, you would end up with a parabola. Okay. Do you guys remember, how do we move this parabola left and right? Or sorry, this square root graph. No, so timesing in front of the square root is going to change its height. How do we slide to the right or to the left? So we're going to add or subtract, and we want to change the x values, so I have to change the x. So if I had the square root of x minus 1, what direction would that move? It actually moves to the right, which is weird, but any transformation that happens on the x is going to move in the opposite way you would expect. So x minus 1 is actually going to go right 1, and the square root of x plus 1 is going to move left 1. Okay, how do we move up and down? Add or subtract outside the square root. So this is the y value. The x value is inside the square root, and when we plug in x, I get a y value. So anything outside the square root is a y, and if I wanted to move up 1, what would I do? I would add 1. So that would go up 1. The y-axis works exactly like you think it will. Okay, there's no funny movement in there. The x's are always backwards, the y's are not. Okay. So what if I had this graph here? What would the equation of that be? Square root of x plus 3 plus 1. Do you guys get that? So x plus 3 moves left 3, and then the plus 1 on the outside goes up 1. Okay. All right. If I had the square root graph, which is the square root of x, and I wanted to move it to here, what would that equation be? X minus 1 will be a horizontal shift to the right 1 unit, and minus 4 would be down 4. Okay. All right, let's take a look, but I think that's pretty much everything in 2.2.